Hello, hi. So I'm back for, I guess, day 12 of VEDA. I don't know, the next day of VEDA. And to full disclosure, this is round 2 of this video because I was midway through the last video and I had I was rolling. I had ideas and thoughts and the words were flowing, and then lightning happened outside, and then more thunder and lightning, and then an alarm went off, and I don't even know what that alarm was. But everything seems to be fine, so we're just going to carry on because as 2020 has taught us, sometimes you just have to move through the dumpster fire or the craziness that's going on, which this is the full dumpster fire moment. But nonetheless, so what I wanted to talk about today, and this was just like a last minute idea that came to me after I just had a couple of meetings, and so I just wrapped up one. So a little backstory. I'm a member of the Junior League of Atlanta. Junior League of Atlanta is a women's service organization. So it's all women, women-led, women-run, and we do service in the metro Atlanta area. Now, Junior League, in and of itself, is an international organization. It's the Association of Junior Leagues International, where they have their chapters in different countries all over the world, and there's chapters in different states. There's also chapters in different cities. So if you live in Atlanta, there's Junior League of Atlanta, there's Junior League of DeKalb, there's Junior League of Douglasville, I believe. So there's like different junior leagues. So I'm in the Metro Atlanta one. I live in Metro Atlanta. And so we were, the particular call that I was on, it was the wrap-up meeting for the leadership retreat. So I'm not currently a member of leadership. I was actually there because I volunteered to facilitate the breakout rooms. So the way that when you join the Junior League, and once you've kind of gone through the process of, learning about the organization, and then you are officially a member, you are given a placement. So each year, every member has a placement, and your placement is essentially your service duty for the year. For me, all of my placements have been internal, like they have been league specific, where I haven't necessarily been placed with like community service organizations. So in addition, Junior League partners with community service organizations all throughout Metro Atlanta to provide volunteers and service and support. And so you can either volunteer externally, which is with one of the organizations, or you can volunteer internally, which is with the league itself. I volunteer with the league itself, and I do internal stuff. And so this league year, I'm on the Community Impact Committee, which is also over like education and kind of workshops and trainings that they do for the members internally. With that being said, I volunteered to be a facilitator for the leadership retreat as a way, largely because I wanted to help out, but also in the next couple of months, my ability to participate and show up kind of physically for things is about to be limited because school starts. And so this was kind of my last way to do my service, do support where I could before I had to kind of back away a little bit to focus on work. Nonetheless, in the breakout sessions, we were just I was there to facilitate the conversation with the ladies who are part of the membership, leadership committee. Darn it, I can't talk right now. And just kind of lead them through a series of questions that were just all about, how they can continue to motivate and encourage other members to participate, because as the leadership committee, they have to go back to their own committees, and then, they're the ones leading them, and so they have to be able to motivate them and kind of be leaders. And so I was basically kind of going through the questions and kind of guiding the group through having that conversation. And as a result of that, it made me think about something. So I've seen people starting to post now that 2020 is not canceled. I definitely get, once everything happened in March with the pandemic, and then just with the lack of leadership that we've had in this country and in other countries too, but definitely in this country, the lack of leadership that I've experienced in my very own state, not so much in my city, but definitely in my state. People were just kind of like, you know what, 2020, just throw it away, just the whole year. And I was always hesitant to kind of co-sign that because it was March. It's like, y'all, we just got here. Like, the year just started. We can't just throw the whole thing away. But now, even more so, I think that there's value in. This is definitely not a video where it's like, let's find the good in the the pandemic. This is all trash. The way this stuff is happening in the world, where we got pandemic, we got murder hornets. That, yes, we stopped talking about the murder hornets, but they're still in the mix. We've got, I don't know if the cicadas are coming. The 17-year cicadas are supposed to be coming back. Like, I don't know. All of this craziness is happening in the world just with nature. You know, earthquakes in Charlotte, like it's bananas. I have routinely said, yo, that's bananas about so many things this year, because that's all, I guess all I got. I don't have any other descriptive words to describe it other than that's bananas, because I've said that's crazy so much that it's beyond crazy now, it's just bananas. So with that being said, in spite of that, I do think that we can't cancel the year. I'm in no way, shape, or form or fashion saying that what is happening should be happening. I'm seeing that dialogue, and I think that's dangerous, because sometimes just jacked up stuff just happens, and that doesn't mean that it's supposed to happen in order for you to learn a lesson. I think we can learn lessons without being pummeled by, negative circumstance. Like, I don't think that whole, you have to go through a struggle and you have to, everything has to be through the fire. I think that's dangerous, because that's not always true. However, I do think trying to cancel this year would just be making us lose an opportunity to expand our ability to see the best in things. So while we can definitely acknowledge that things right now feel really shitty, they haven't gotten unshitty since March. Like, they've just gotten progressively more and more shitty for various reasons. However, there have also been some silver linings as well. And there's been some positive. So we can see and acknowledge the bad and the craziness and the stuff that's bananas and the tomfoolery, while also recognizing and acknowledging the positive things that have come out of this year. Not that have come out of this circumstance, not that have come out. And now that doesn't mean that some people might not have had some positivity that have come out of this particular circumstance. But I don't want to, that's not the message. That's not my focus. What I'm just saying is there have been some positive things this year that we've been able to experience, either in spite of, or around, or in lieu of, or whatever the other stuff that's going on that's not so positive. So I guess I want to just encourage everyone, look for some good, look for it. Like, intentionally find some good. And it can be hard, especially when you're in the muck, you are in, the swamp of sadness, as, was it the swamp of sadness? The swamp of despair. I just watched The Neverending Story for the first time in quite some years, and that was a part where Atreyu was in the swamp, and the Zartan, his horse, got so sad that he sunk in the swamp. But it's like you have to push through the sadness to get to the other side. If you let it overtake you, then you won't make it. So with all that long-winded, very circuitous example, just to say that as we are kind of pushing through this year, and just powering through, I think one of the things that a few of the ladies that were in my breakout room said was that they are just excited to see where things go. It is, a lot of us had plans at the beginning of the year that have gone by the wayside. Obviously, those things that we were thinking of doing are either we're not doing them at all, or we have to do them in a way that looks completely different than what we thought. And so it's essentially like you're doing something different. But having a generally optimistic kind of outlook, just, I just want to see what happens. We made it through the initial upheaval of everything kind of going the way that it went in March and April. we're in August now, and so now it's like, all right, we've had to make some fast adjustments, but now we've adjusted. Where can we go next, and how can we find some good and some positivity in that moving forward? So I don't think that we should cancel 2020. I think we should find the light, intentionally look for the light in 2020, and find it where you can. And when you find it, embrace it, cherish it, appreciate it for what it is, which is some light in the midst of a lot of dimness, some darkness, but some just kind of dim, slower light. So that was my VEDA for this day 12. I would love to hear your thoughts. So have you experienced some unexpected positivity this year that you had not, that kind of caught you off guard because everything is so bananas, it's so crazy? And if so, what was it, and have you been able to really cherish it, or, kind of lean into that to kind of maybe power through when things aren't so positive? What is that? Are you looking forward to it? Have you resigned yourself and just given up on 2020 altogether? I would love to hear your thoughts, and let's have a conversation in the comments. So that is it for my day for VEDA. I will be back for another video, and thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to the next time that we can talk again.